I can't hit the button anymore, Spencer.
You can't hit the button anymore? Is your finger
Yeah.
too sore and ruby red?
Well, it's. I think we both have different ideas on how to introduce it. I was gonna say that I can't press a new sponsor button because our sponsor's returning.
Oh, okay.
It's the same one from last episode. It's the Put This On shop, sponsoring this episode of Sound Direction.
That's right. They are our sponsors once again. And
Awesome.
Ethan, I understand that they have new stuff on this site.
That's right. I heard from a person who works there that there are new things every week on this website, because it's one of my favorite places to go shopping for vintage, because we can't really thrift and we can't go to the flea markets. And I know Jesse has good taste because I have thrifted alongside of him. I've run into him a couple of times. So
yeah, we shop in the same places. But yeah, there's tons of good stuff. Anything that you're looking at right now?
Yeah, I'm looking at the Mayan calendar ring. I think we talked about rings last time, or buckles. I can't remember, but I mean,
it's like that's one of the things. That's one of the things that I think that Put This On shop. They have some of the best in the business in terms of like really like cool, unique jewelry.
That's right.
And I mean, yeah, this ring, no exception.
Yeah, it's like 2012 all over again.
That's right. Yeah, tell us about it.
I don't remember that movie, so all I know is that John Cusack's in it, and then they go on the Ark.
Well, does he wear a Mayan calendar ring in the movie?
No.
He should have, and he could have gotten one from the Put This On shop. I was
right.
looking at. There's an LBJ like cowboy
so
hat
good.
pin. I'm like
so
a big
good.
fan. I like U.S. history. I like collecting like presidential memorabilia, like a big
That's
fucking
right.
nerd. And yeah, this one I think is just like really cool. It's very small. It's like half an inch, if I recall correctly.
Where do you put these though?
You could on.
Oh, okay.
No, I would put this on like a denim jacket or something like that, like a little fun piece of
there you
swag.
go. Yeah.
But yeah, there's tons of new stuff. Like we said, there's stuff being posted every Monday. And the best part is right now you can get free shipping with a special offer code, and that of course is SADSHIP. And that's going to apply to most everything in store with the exception of a couple oversized items. But everything that we talked about just now, you'd be able to get free shipping with the offer code SADSHIP, all one word.
Yeah, let me know if you want me to explain exactly what that means to you.
Because he was like very thorough last time. Hopefully,
I actually
understand
was
it
talking
now?
to well, I do, but one of my friends, I was explaining to him and he didn't get it either. So I'm going to say it one more time just in case. It's that if the shipping costs $12 and under $12, it's free. If it's over that, which is
so $12 or more, you pay for shipping. $12 or less, it's free. I don't think we have to talk about it.
Well, that's it.
Next episode.
Maybe the next episode that we get sponsored on, we don't have to do that. But that's it. Use code SADSHIP for free shipping on most items for things in the PutThisOnShop.com. Check it out. Let's get on with the episode, baby. Helicopter hands.
Bye. Wait, not bye-bye. Hello.
Now you know I'm just going to keep that in there.
Perfect.
Hello, everyone. Good evening and welcome.
You're very presumptive about what time they are listening to this episode.
Well, the thing is, I've actually I've worked hard with MJ, and we programmed it so you can only listen to this in the evening time wherever you are. And if you're listening to this any other time,
you have to tell us because
your
something's
challenge
not
has started.
going wrong. Oh my god.
You'll know what that means.
Yeah, soon.
That's right. But yeah, tell that to Dan. Tell that to Dan Harmon. Oh, why did they get to leave last time? Call back.
Oh, that's right. I forgot the lore. Dan Harmon was here last week or 2 weeks ago, of course.
And depending on how you started your adventure, he either left because he had laryngitis or because I offended him with my failure on.
I completely forgot that we had Dan Harmon creator of Community and the podcast,
Yeah.
Harmontown,
I'm
on our podcast.
I'm looking at the signed headshot that he gave me as proof before he left, before we got on his bad side.
Yeah, I'm looking at the metrics of this episode, and we definitely got that Harmon bump. Views are
HB.
up 1,000,000%. We just got bought out by Spotify. They're firing Joe Rogan, and now we host the Joe Rogan Experience. They're not changing the name.
Yeah. I can't wait to get on Ben Shapiro and Jordan Peterson when he gets out of his coma.
That's right. Is he still alive? Has anyone heard from him in a while? I haven't heard from him for like a year. Last time I heard, he was like in a weirdo Russian prison.
I'm kind of sad. Yeah, I'm kind of sad that he's
dead
not
now.
like active, because I'm pretty sure a lot of like my political opponents, and I call them that whenever people DM me, but I'm pretty sure they're all like big JP heads, not Jurassic Park. But I think that because he hasn't been active, I haven't been having that much anymore.
Well, bummer.
Yeah. Bummer. But yeah, sorry, this is not a political podcast. This is Down Direction. It's a menswear podcast without the stuffiness and without politics. Just kidding. That creeps in, because there's a whole 2 episodes about it.
We did 2 episodes about it. Go ahead and listen to those.
Yeah, I think that's talk about best metrics. That actually might be our best metrics ever.
That's the one. That's the reason we're hosting the Joe Rogan Experience.
Yeah, they heard what we did with Young Chomsky. Like, we want those 2 guys. We don't need any of this whole centrist like fucking macho guy. We need Spencer and Ethan. But my name is Ethan M. Wong.
And I'm Spencer.
We talk about menswear. We're fresh from a stream we did last night. But hey, you don't know. Hey, you guys listening, you don't know if that was like Wednesday or Saturday.
That was 21 hours ago. I would not say we are fresh from it. That was a while ago.
But like freshly picked, what does that mean?
What are you talking about? Wait, we're picked? Who picked us?
No, like when you usually when you say something's fresh, it's like you just picked it. But like, how long does it like for that word to?
Well,
like,
I guess
fresh?
I guess you're gonna have to. This is an issue for the FDA. I think you're gonna have to talk to the FDA about this.
I don't know who. I can't even.
I can't. Yeah, I don't know enough about the FDA to keep this bit up.
Me neither. No.
I know 3 things about the FDA: food, drugs, administration.
That's it. Federal Drug Administration.
Federal Body Inspector.
That's right. My favorite mug. That's it. It's very funny because at first glance you look at it, you're like, oh, FBI.
Wait, FBI? That's just a regular button-down organization. And then you're like, holy hell! This guy's paid to inspect female bodies, and he has a T-shirt about it.
And a mug and a cap.
How do I get that job?
Yeah, how do I? Which mall kiosk man do I have to go to get those things?
I want to like take the scene from.
Oh man, those guys are probably out of a job now, right?
Oh no, they probably are. R.I.P. I want to take the scene from Taxi Driver where Travis Bickle is talking to like the Secret Service agent and like being like, I want to be a Secret Service agent too. I bet you get to carry a big gun, but he's talking to a guy wearing a female body inspector T-shirt.
Oh yeah,
that's my joke.
There's your joke. I don't know how to segue this to our topic of the evening, but it is about the navy blazer, specifically the navy blazer with the brass buttons.
That's right.
And it's a weird,
long-winded way of putting it. I talked to Ethan when he was writing the article. I'm like, why don't you just call it the navy blazer or the brass button blazer? And he said no, because it's the navy blazer with brass buttons. It has to be that many words.
Yeah, first off, SEO, hello, that's hey, it used to be my job. I mean, I guess it kind of is, it's my hobby.
SEO is my hobby?
I swear to God, I bet there are like digital marketers out there who literally like have that shirt. That's awful.
Man,
but
tell that to the female body inspector shirt.
Tell that to the drug inspector. But okay, so the reason why it's called that is because first off, not every navy. I mean, okay, so the navy blazer, as we've been as we kind of know it, has been like kind of it's nautical and military in origin. And back then it was a navy blue like wool jacket with brass buttons. That's the
Yeah.
original version of it. And today, if someone talks about an odd jacket, sport coat, whatever, they sometimes call it a blazer. I know it's not technically correct. I know that Gentleman's Gazette will tell you to be super specific, but regular guys in the street, they don't really fucking care, right?
Yeah,
And
blazer
so,
and sport coat is usually used interchangeably. That, like, when I worked retail, I got that question all the time. People like, what's the difference between a blazer and a sport coat? And you know what?
now you can send them this episode.
I'm gonna send them this episode, but I don't work there anymore, so I'm gonna have to track down all my former customers and tell them to listen to my podcast.
Hi, you're receiving a call because you a couple months ago you had said you had asked me what
The difference between a sport coat and a blazer, and I just wanted to let you know that I went in depth on the topic. Listen to this
There you
podcast. It's called the Joe Rogan Experience.
now on Spotify. But yeah, so basically, colloquially, not every blazer is navy, right? And this is also true for us because or at least for me, I actually own a burgundy blazer.
I mean, do we really want to just say what a blazer is? Like when we were talking about a blazer, maybe not even the brass button navy blazer, but just a blazer in general. What it is.
I mean, yeah, go for it.
Okay. Well, I was just gonna say. I mean, it's like it is. I get the blazer has to have like brass buttons, right, or just like metal buttons of some kind. Is that part of the definition?
The thing is, I don't. This is why I said the whole title is all together because I knew if I call it the navy blazer, people might get they don't know what I'm talking about. If I just said blazer, if I just said brass button blazer, people wouldn't know because we've also seen as we get later on there are other jackets that have brass buttons, pewter buttons, or so on. So that's why I called it the navy blazer with brass buttons because I don't even know for sure.
So there's your answer. So if you were asking what the difference is between a sport coat and a blazer, the answer is who knows?
Yeah. But anyway, so the original navy blazer was like a nautical military origin. There is there's a lot of different pieces on it. I'm sure there's something on Style Forum. I'm sure
like Gentleman's Gazette is probably
Gentleman's
written about
Gazette,
it. Yeah.
Real Man Style.
Everyone's written about these because this is like the navy blazer is something that you get told a lot. Oh, this should be like one of your first like casual jackets. It's like maybe you get like a charcoal or navy suit, and then you get a navy sport coat or a navy blazer. So it's a very it's a piece that like most people who are into menswear will have a basic familiarity with, or probably have one in their closet anyway.
Yeah, but the thing is, I'm not sure people will have the navy blazer with brass buttons. Is the issue, and that's why it's the focus of the episode because I think that to a lot of people, because like for us, let's say like a navy sport coat, right? It's probably gonna be with made of hopsack or maybe flannel or sometimes tweed, but it'll have like horn buttons, 3-roll too if you like that, and patch pockets. I'm sure a regular guy would probably say, well, that's just a suit jacket because to them a hopsack fabric, with regular brown dark horn buttons is not gonna look that different, but you see the navy, like a navy colored sport coat with brass buttons, people are gonna be like, okay, that's different, and that has a whole bunch of different connotations to it. And again, if we're going back through the history of it, because of its like naval nautical origin, it kind of translated to it's like a status symbol, right? Because back then,
you would see
for
a lot
the military.
With, like, universities, like social clubs, stuff like that.
Because for military stuff, it would be for like I think originally. The first time that you saw it, it was like for a specific like ship. I think for, like the HMS Blazer. I'm not. Don't quote me on that, but that's like a thing I heard. And so that kind of
that's going to be the pull quote from this.
Now
episode.
The different buttons have different meanings to it too. So when it gets to like later on like the 1800s or whatever, 19th century, 20th century,
21st
these jackets, 22nd.
Oh my god.
Duck Dodgers. As you get on, this jacket became kind of like a status symbol because you would have special jackets for rowing. Eventually the navy blazer became like a rowing blazer with the nautical stripes, also with brass buttons. You would have like school blazers, right, for stuff for like university. You have like society blazers, for like social clubs or whatever. And of course, that's why we think of it today as a very, maybe not regal, but a very high class item. Especially with Americans, Ivy Prep, as Ivy and Prep take after the British tradition.
Exactly. This is something. If you wear this, hey, you belong to something. That's the idea.
Yeah, you know, and it's funny, you know, and also like if you go to the country club, don't worry. I'm sure the kitchen staff will have an extra one for you to wear if you don't get to wear one. But yeah, so it's kind of a weird piece that, you know, despite people saying you should have a navy blazer, this is not what they're talking about. They're usually talking about like a navy sport coat because the navy blazer has connotations. Even I remember in a Friends episode where Joey becomes a like a docent at at the Met or the Natural History Museum. That Ross gives him a job because Ross is a paleontologist, and they make a joke like, "Hey, Donald Trump wants his navy blazer back," and I'm guessing back in the early '90s, Donald Trump wore a blazer or something. But it's like thing where
tennis, golf, he likes those things.
Yeah, and it's you know it's something that you know unfortunately over time it has become kind of like a meme in itself, right? Like whenever we see
because it's very like, you know, the whole like 80s prep look, which the navy blazer with brass buttons is very like tied to, is like that's like the douchebag look now. That's like, you know, that's the whole joke about it.
Well, I was gonna say it actually turns into something like a nerd outfit because we think of like prep school kids. You think of like Michael George Michael Bluth. In a couple of first seasons, he wears like a navy blazer with like his like an OCBD and like a tie.
That's right.
And like khakis and like boat shoes until like when he's casual he wears like a fucking Harrington jacket, you know. But it's like one of those things, and also like when people wear it also reminds people of again of like museum like docents like staff kind of thing. So it's a little bit weird, but the reason I wrote about it, which you can read about, which you can find in the linked in the description.
Yeah,
it took me a while to say that one. Is because it's been kind of having this kind of resurgence lately, and this is why it's also very pertinent to talk about. I know that this is coming out like second half of October, but hey, we're in LA, and even though the day of recording it's actually kind of gloomy and kind of mild, at least where I am. You can
it's gonna heat back up. It's gonna heat back up.
Yeah, it's gonna heat back up.
It doesn't start. It doesn't. It's still like summer for us until like late.
And
November.
a blazer can be worn year round. No one.
Exactly.
I mean, I think people think that it's like a
spring summer thing, but it depends on the fabric, as with everything.
Yeah, exactly. So let's talk about why we like it, and sometimes even more than a navy sport coat. And again, I think so if I started off, I think again because guys talk about how a navy blazer should be the number one thing you get, and I still think it should be a navy jacket. I mean, a navy blazer is like the evolution of it, right? Kind of like how after you get like, I don't know, after you get like a black knit tie, you got to get like a rep tie. And actually, that's a very good example because a rep tie is preppy or ivy, but it adds character more than like a plain navy tie or a plain black knit tie. It intentionally provides, you know, like an inherent ivy prep trad look to it. And so instead of just wearing like, you know, a Neapolitan jacket, and again, we're using the term, if you haven't noticed, we're using the term navy blazer very loosely. Like it doesn't always have to be like a 3-roll-2 sack suit.
Yeah, we are talking about any navy jacket that has brass buttons on it. The style that we like typically is very like, you know, ivy, like soft shoulders, 3-roll-2, stuff like that. But that's not. Then
after that, yeah.
But yeah, that's not all there is. That's not all there is to it.
Yeah, exactly. And I mean, and you know, I think so. I have one because I thrifted it, and I guess it makes it easier because these things are fairly common. And again,
they're kind of hard to find. It's kind of hard to find good ones, though. At least,
yeah. I was gonna say, like, you can probably find a lot of them, and I'm pretty sure a lot of guys at like Dapper Day or people who read the blog or the podcast who like first get into men's like, oh, I found a blazer, it's super cool, but it'll be like a late 70s, 80s, 90s one where like you get the really low buttoning point, again, button pocket harmony, wide shoulder pads, very baggy body and everything. So again, that's why we like the 3-roll-2 sack suit because it's a bit easier to get right off the bat.
Yeah, it's like
fairly
classic,
easily,
quote unquote.
Yeah, so if you can find those two together out in the wild, you know you can find a good one. I wouldn't say that you should get this as your first jacket unless you've got the balls to do it. Again, I didn't even have a navy sport coat until like a couple of years into my menswear journey. I'm sure you guys know that, you know, Spencer and I we were at the mercy of vintage. So whatever became available at like eBay or from these people that we bought from in person, navy jackets weren't that common. I mean, if you find tweed jackets, you find green, you find whatever. But this one, is a very intentional choice, which is why if, like with wide leg pants, if you are at a stage of changing things up, why not try the navy blazer with brass buttons? And obviously, like I said, it's getting kind of trendy. We're seeing a lot of resurgence in the like Ivy trads like coming back. Not like H&M coming back, but like
it's. I mean, it's also like different. It's kind of like a little bit more subversive.
Good old water. That was my
This
impression
episode
of
is
my
brought to
TIE
you
Fighter
by
pilot.
Big Water.
Yeah, sorry PTO. New sponsor. Hit the button.
New sponsor, Big Water.
There you go. The Hydra homies are all over this one. But yeah, so like I've seen it being worn kind of all over. Of course, this is like in the know. If you know kind of thing. But the guys at J Muser, I mean, it's no secret that like that Matt Woodruff and Chase are big fans of like 80s, 70s, 80s Ivy prep. But Husbands has a couple of jackets like that. I just saw Peter Zotolo, Urban Composition. He had a navy blazer. It was the inspiration there was a little bit different. He was wearing like he's like doing like a refined like yacht look. So he wore it with like white pants. But like what's it called? Buzz Tang of the Anthology has one. So yeah, you do see it quite a bit in like recently. Some other guys from the Anthology like Charles, Little Fat Yeah, all these guys, absolutely great style. And I'm not going to say I was inspired by them because I'm pretty sure I got some of my stuff concurrently. But it's just kind of like we're all on the same wavelength. We're probably looking at the old L.O. Bean archives, old Brooks Brothers archives, and that's how we're kind of getting to it. And so, a couple of months ago when I was talking with Spencer about like whether or not I should have one, and because I bought a ring jacket one, and I'll get more into that later. I was telling him like I already have like a blue. I already have a blue sport coat, like navy blue sport coat, and I have a vintage 70s blazer. Do I need a DB one? And me and him were talking about it, and he was like, well, the cool thing about this is like it's not versatile. It's like you're well, it is, but it's subversive inherently because like you can't do it. I mean, you could change the buttons if you wanted to, but like it's a little bit of a challenge.
What was the other jacket that you were looking at? Because it was like between two. Wasn't it?
Was so Spear and McKay had a DB jacket, had a Navy Odd jacket, but it was what was it? It was for linen. It was 100% linen, and so I was like, oh well, I want one I can wear year round, and Hopsack is something you can wear year round. I think I've talked about how I prefer cotton over linen because cotton can work year round, but linen I can't wear linen with flannel. That seems weird to me. I can wear cotton with flannels. And so I was debating like which one, even though I loved the cut of the ring jacket one more. And in the end, I went with it.
Yeah.
So, but it's like, and it's kind of like been an eye opener because again, it's all about either playing, the whole idea behind the navy blazer with brass buttons is either going to play into the Ivy trad connotations or you're going to subvert it. Because again, this jacket, again, classic color patch pockets with the brass buttons, it already signifies Ivy trad. So either again you could play around into it, like you wear it with OCBD, wear it with like with a tie, chinos, white socks, loafers, or fucking wear it with like raw hem black jeans or something. Exactly. Like you just kind of subvert it.
No, because it's like, and the double breasted navy blazer, it's especially fun to do that because that is I feel like much more separated to a very specific like 70s 80s douchebag yacht club prep. More so than the single-breasted blazer, but that's not. No, I mean it's like I don't have one, but that is something that I've wanted for a while. And every time I watch The King of Comedy, there's a scene where Tony Randall is in it hosting the Jerry Lawford show or whatever, and he's wearing like a double-breasted navy blazer with plaid pants, and that's like one of my favorite just like 80s prep looks of all time. Just like the odd plaid trousers, such a good look. But yeah, every time I see that, I'm like, man, I need to get me one of these.
Yeah. Well, let's get into each one by itself first. So let's start with the single-breasted navy blazer. I know we kind of talked a little bit about it. We said, again, they're not always all good.
Yeah, most of the time they're not. It's kind of hard to find, especially if you're looking secondhand. Not necessarily if you're buying new, but if you're looking secondhand, it's hard to find good ones because there are just so many bad ones. Way more bad ones than there are good ones.
Yeah, exactly. And it's unfortunate, and but it's sometimes if you get lucky, it's really good. Like I found mine. I think mine's like I think it's like part poly, leading into the whole like 70s prep thing of it. But it's really cool, and yeah, it's not that hard to wear. Like I sometimes lean like full into it. There's an outfit of mine in the article that I'm wearing like kind of Wes Anderson. I'm wearing like a red beanie with an Oxford wide-legged World War II chinos with like sockless tassel loafers. I think that's a cool way to do it. Um, but something I thought about recently too is that and I wrote about this. It's that the metal buttons kind of make it edgy in a sense, making it easier to subvert because it's kind of like a chore coat where like a navy chore coat where a navy chore coat can it can replace a blazer if you wanted it to. I think Put This On has an article about like, oh, here are the top three navy jackets to buy, and one of them is like the not navy jacket, or the non sport coat jacket, and it's kind of like that where like I think that because of the brass buttons, it works a lot better to wear with like t-shirts as
It's like
opposed to like a
hardware.
regular sport coat. Yeah, it's like hardware. It's kind of like the zips on like a leather jacket or something, or like the snap buttons on like a denim jacket. I think that's what makes it kind of cool. So wearing it subversively is a really cool idea. I think that if your style leans more traditional, I would, well, I don't know. Like I wouldn't wear it with like regular chinos and like kind of like dad. I would lean away from like the dad looks. I would have to say like wear it with a chambray shirt if you're gonna dress it up. Wear it with like a knit tie and wear it with like raw hem jeans and white socks and loafers. Do it like the edgy Americana or edgy Ivy as opposed to something that kind of straightforward. I mean, you can. It's more like you are gonna get those looks because that's like that jacket's like it's like what I think we call it like old man yacht like
I mean,
jacket
it's like
kind
yeah,
of
the two ways it could come off is like you look like an old like fat retired guy at a fucking like Newport Beach like yacht club.
brunch. Yeah,
Yeah, or
because
you look like a college Republican, like the fucking like Nazi kid in Knives Out. Like that's the two things that you can look at or look like that. Those are the two dangers, I guess.
Yeah,
When it
because
comes to
I was
wearing
gonna
navy
say, I think I've been
blazers.
around some people who were like kids, or when I was a kid, where like, yeah, you'd wear like a sport coat, but if it's like you want to signify that you're being casual on a
Hmm.
Sunday at the yacht club, at brunch, at Father's Day, Mother's Day, whatever, like my grandpa would put on like his navy blazer because that's like, oh, it's a sport coat, but it's casual,
Yeah,
because
there's the
older
episode
guys.
of Curb where Larry starts wearing like a navy blazer and a bow tie and loses all his lesbian friends because they think he's a Republican now.
Oh yeah, I remember that one.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
see.
and it's like hard because it's like we talk about, like it is kind of fun to lean into the prep look, but that's also the perception that you're gonna have to deal with.
Yeah, I mean, this is why we try. Like, I mean, like Spencer has a beard, I have a beard, I wear bucket hats. Like, there are ways to kind of like if I know I'm gonna wear like the navy blazer with brass buttons, single breasted version, but with like a maybe not a bow tie, but like a like an Oxford or something, more traditional. I need to wear bucket like a bucket hat. I just have to
Just
do it because
something.
yeah, just to make it show that I'm not like I actually what I do wear is a hat that says I am not a Republican and I love gay people. That's the hat to wear actually.
It's a fun
So
hat. Do you have a t-shirt on?
yeah, it's one of those things where I wear the t-shirt over my shirt and tie,
Okay.
like a company CEO or whatever. Like, guys, we got these new
And
team
of
shirts
course the
on,
t-shirt says Coney 2012 on it.
and fuck God.
There you go. That's the
Yeah,
t-shirt.
and a Republican would never wear that. So let me
They
just
love
say,
Coney.
right? Yeah, that's right.
That's
That's
why.
right. Um, but yeah, I don't know, like, so yeah, I have one.
Hmm.
It's a little bit small. I kind of want to recreate. I kind of want to wear or get another one. And like we said, it's like it's easy to find, but also not easy to find. And obviously now because of COVID, I am not thrifting as much as I used to, so I haven't really ran into it. But yeah, mine's like a 60s, 70s one, and it's cool. You know, it's nice. I
I
actually like.
it has a lot of great ivy details. Like it's the 3-roll 2 swelled edges. It has wider lapels than mine, which is earlier in the
Excuse me,
60s,
take
which
that.
is that's nice.
Yeah, I mean, it's not a bad, but it's just more like I'm very cognizant of like the wool poly blend.
Yeah.
It's like one of those.
Is this the
labels
only
actually,
like poly like jacket that you still wear?
Yeah. Well, I guess my cotton suits have elastin in it, um, but
This probably has a
yeah.
higher count of polyester than the
Yeah, it
cotton
does.
suit had.
But
Yeah.
it's a very light one. I the label is like camp. It's like a very fun. I don't know where it's from. It could be from Hong Kong or something because the label's all in Chinese except for the actual like brand label on like and it has like it's in this like the interior breast pocket, kind of like a 30s or 40s jacket. And it says like campus jacket, which I think is totally cool.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's just because like the fabric's not that forgiving. It doesn't stretch as much like as like a natural wool would have done. And again, I didn't gain that much weight, but it's still kind of not the easiest to wear. And I want to replace it.
Is that something that you're like, oh, I want to find another vintage one, or is this going to be like, I'm going to get this like made, I'm going to get this commissioned?
I don't know. Like I was gonna say like at first I was gonna be like, oh, I should just get like a brown check jacket made, but then it's like I kind of lucked out this entire summer with it, and so maybe I mean I like the idea. I think I mentioned in the article like I think it's kind of sick when people make a Neapol or like a bespoke jacket that's navy, hopsack, swelled edges, but they add in like vintage buttons to it.
Yeah.
I think that's pretty cool. I mean there's like a picture of like Alex Vetkovich wearing like what I like the kind of the 70s disco mod version of it where it's like he's wearing it's like a very broad it's Edward Sexton. It's a very broad-shouldered single-breasted peak lapel jacket but with brass buttons or gold buttons, whatever.
Oh, that's pretty
and
cool.
that looks kind of sick. And again, like we said, there's always variations of this kind of thing, and it's kind of fun. I personally wouldn't do a peak lapel sport coat.
Well, so what would you put? Like, I mean, this may be a little bit. We're jumping ahead on the outline, but what would you put on like your ideal navy blazer?
I don't know. I mean, it kind of sucks that like La Sierra never had a like brass buttons for like a society or something. I don't know if I'm proud of it that much to wear that, but I mean, if they did, I would.
But I'm just talking about like the details, like how.
Oh, I mean, it would just be like my Ascot Chang jacket, just with those buttons on it.
Okay.
I think that I think I forgot who it was. There's like a store on German Street that has a bunch of buttons near Savile Row. And that's cool. I think I would find and source vintage buttons. I think I recommend that in my Style Forum article when I'm pushing for it. That's the difference between the Style Forum article and mine, is that I'm selling a different idea for each one. But yeah, I don't know. I think that Crest single-breasted navy jackets are pretty damn cool. Maybe you should talk about yours.
I mean, yeah. So I do have I have a '60s Crest blazer, which I've worn a couple times, and I wanted to break it out recently, but unfortunately I noticed some schmutz on the sleeve, so I need to take it to the dry cleaner. I don't know, just some food or something. There's a stain on the sleeve, and I need to take it to the cleaner, but I don't have anything else that needs to go to the cleaners right now. Everything else is just like machine washable, so it's just been sitting in a laundry basket for like a while. But yeah, I got this one from a random thrift store in Glendale. It is like the most fucking like ivy jacket that I own, because it's like Ethan said, it is literally like a school Crest blazer. It's from like the early '60s. It has all the ivy details: soft shoulders, 3-roll-2, triple patch pocket. It's got the hook vent, slim lapel, and it's great. I don't think I've worn this thing just straight prep, maybe because I think the Crest
College
makes it
Republican.
Yeah, the Crest makes it easier, and I think more. I mean, it's just more interesting to do more rugged looks with it. So I've worn it with chinos, but they've been like rolled World War II chinos or whatever. Typically, I wear that with like military chinos, like Beecher trousers or cargo pants, or just jeans. And I mean, kind of going back to the '70s episode. That like the navy blazer with jeans is a pretty cool 70s look, especially if you pair it with like, a Western shirt, chambray shirt, going a little bit more into the rugged 70s look. But yeah, that's how I like to wear mine.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's how our friend Doug would wear his too, because he actually got.
I think
I have no
this
pictures of it, unfortunately.
This was the cause of, I guess, a mini argument about button stance. But yeah, he has a 70s like H-bar C Western blazer, so it has like the Western yoke and everything. But
Western pockets.
Yeah, Western pockets, but it's navy with brass buttons, and I personally think it looks sick as hell.
I mean, I don't disagree that it looks like a tell. It just has the
it has the
disharmony.
It doesn't just don't like the buttons. I'm sure we could find an example of it. I'll do that when we stop recording and throw it in the show notes.
You'll see.
Subverting it is the easier and like maybe more interesting way to do it. So that's typically how I wear mine. If I had like a plain navy one that didn't have the crest, I might do like a straight ivy look with it. But with the crest, I dress it down more often.
Yeah, it's kind of like, again, making connections to maybe like a denim jacket with like patches on it. The hardware and the patch makes it more interesting to dress down. But then like a denim jacket that doesn't have that, I think a denim jacket looks cool with like a OCBD and knit tie. I think that's kind of a fun look. Kind of like a casual prep, whatever. But yeah, the patches are an interesting choice. That choice you didn't. I just
bought it. I bought it like that. I chose it.
Yeah. I don't think that there's a lot of. I've never found one in my size that would have that. And I think if
do you want a crest blazer?
Probably. I don't know. I mean, it's kind of like, I think that if it was the only one I found, like if it was like on the one I bought, I would probably still wear it the same way I do it.
Yeah.
But because I didn't, I don't think I would buy another one. I think if I did want to like lean into like the very school university student vibe, like vintage vibe, I would just get like a fucking straight up like rowing blazer, because that's another way of like signifying like school university prep without it being a crest, and still being able to be wearable, because even the Armory has like a ring jacket model they did with boating stripes on it. But that's not the topic of today. It's just the navy blazer with brass buttons.
Yeah, so you're gonna have to listen to the boating blazer episode, which comes out 10 years from now,
when we finally buy one, right?
When we finally buy one, that's right.
Yeah. So that's the single-breasted one, but what about the DB?
Of course, that stands for double-breasted.
Waistcoat. Shout out Ivan. So this one's a little bit different, because this one is... I thought I wouldn't wear this one very often because it's kind of wild, but this is like... it's fucking awesome.
I mean, it's like, dude, the casual, like, double-breasted jacket, that's a thing, man. That's a real thing. Yeah. And yeah, the navy like blazer with brass buttons and the white jackets are maybe the two like ideal casual like double-breasted sport coats.
Yeah. So again, this one is literally just like a navy double-breasted jacket with brass buttons. And these ones have precedent too. I mean, you could even say that they are the original blazer, because when you look at old naval uniforms, or like stuff that like Prince Charles is wearing, like the whole like 8-on-4, whatever, 6-on-3 jackets, right? He's wearing like a, the like, it looks like an admiral thing, right? Like, or whatever. Like, it's got 3 rows of buttons. Sometimes it has the gauntlet or the sleeve embroidery on it. But civilian ones don't have that. And I think that I wrote how, I think the reason why these navy jackets became more popular, not just in like the Ivy trad world, but like because it's like an accessible way to look rich, right? Because of its connotations.
Yeah, it's like a very country club look.
Yeah, and the double-breasted one has a very loose feel. Again, it's very like old school Ralph Lauren kind of thing. Of course, depending on where you're getting and what you're getting it and how it works, because like we've seen like vintage ones which have like very padded shoulders. Then I've seen, again, same thing with the single-breasted ones, people commission double-breasted jackets, but just with brass buttons. I think again the Anthology has some there. Chase has one from Jay
I'm looking
Mueser.
I'm looking at the Seersucker one by the Anthology. That one's gorgeous.
Yeah, see, it's also proof that you don't always have to have it. Like the navy blazer.
It doesn't have to be just like
It's
hop
so
sack or
loose. Yeah, it
whatever.
doesn't have to be hop sack flannel. It could be whatever. There are cashmere ones. There are.
Yeah, because like Ethan Newton has like a tweed one, right? Or like cashmere or something, right?
It's flannel. It's
Flannel?
like cashmere, I think, something like that. Cashmere
Yeah,
flannel.
but that
I mean,
his
you can have
definitely
a-
looks more.
yeah.
His looks like winter weight. That's something that you could definitely wear.
Yeah.
To keep cozy.
Yeah, and there's something cool about just again, like Spencer said, casual double-breasted jackets, especially when they're soft, because like the overlapping layer of the overlapping closure just looks so cool when you have it unbuttoned. It's good for pocket fisting. It's a much more loose feel, and because double-breasted jackets are just way more rare to find out in the wild than a single-breasted one. Because I mean, you go to a Men's Warehouse. Answer me this, Spencer. How many double-breasted jackets did you have at Men's Warehouse?
We had like
Did you have a
two
lot
or
of-
three. Yeah, we had like
Yeah.
2 or 3, and that was about it.
Yeah, see, you don't have a lot of those like out like even now with hashtag menswear, we're in late stage hashtag menswear. You can't like J Crew had some, but you never really see them.
Yeah, they only had like one a season. Yeah, not many people are making double-breasted jackets.
Yeah, and so when you add in the kind of prep, when you have one, and then you add in the prep Ivy trad whatever with the brass buttons, makes it kind of a cool choice. And this is also very popular in like Japanese. I mean, the single breasted one is very popular amongst Japanese stuff with like beams, United arrows, whatever, that kind of stuff. Like you find it, but the double breasted one is also very cool to find. I mean, even Taylor Cade, he calls his the Newport jacket. I'm not sure why. It's like a California style, and maybe
Well,
I'm
is
pretty
it
sure.
Probably just Newport, Rhode Island. Just picked a
Oh
very
shit,
like preppy,
you're right. Yeah.
preppy city.
Well, I mean, it's not just him. It's like I think I included some screenshots of the illustrated book of Ivy by Kozumi-san, and in there's a lot of different outfits with navy blazers, single-breasted. But he also calls the double-breasted one the Newport jacket. And for those of you who don't know, who aren't going to read it yet, the Newport jacket is basically a 4-on-2 Ivy, like an Ivy style, or just a 60s style.
Yeah, it looks more 60s. It looks more 60s, where I think the one that you have looks a little bit more like 80s.
Well, yeah, I was gonna say
Yeah.
so. The Japanese ones, they call it the Newport jacket. It is a 60s style sport coat with like, it's kind of a lower button stance. It's got like, the slimmer lapel, swelled edges, but 4-on-2.
It still has the wide button stance, which I mean,
is cool.
it still looks good. I think it's still a good looking blazer.
Yeah. And again, trying on Taylor Cade's one was super cool. So yeah, I mean, it's kind of proof that there's a lot of different ways to wear it. And then I have mine, which is from Ring Jacket, made out of their balloon fabric. And I know they have different ones. I think mine says the fresco balloon, so it has like a kind of a rougher texture, very open weave. Very cool. And the reason I got it is because it was my first ever. The dilemma was I didn't have a summer or year-round double-breasted navy jacket. I have a flannel one from the 30s, which is a belt back, which is cool, but kind of hard to wear in summertime. And I kind of wanted to, I think you guys should know by now that my summer wardrobe is lacking in a lot of different departments, which has been corrected over the summer. So I bought this one from Ring Jacket from their quarantine sale. And man, it's so fucking good. Like the shoulders are pretty much on the money because I bought like their DB style is slimmer, so I got the right size for that one. But like it has this kind of loose feel. Again, you can look over all of the inspiration ones. Some of them, you wear it with like and I've also done this too. You wear it with like a spear point or OCBD and tie, and it makes a regular menswear outfit more interesting because again, a DB is already rare even in menswear circles. Because I think some guys are still intimidated to wear DBs even if they are like menswear guys because people have this weird mentality that DBs are more formal, blah blah blah. But like you see the pictures of like Buzz or even Charles wearing it. They're wearing it with like a Tattersall shirt and like a tie and like gray trousers and loafers. Like it's normal, but it looks so much cooler because not only is it DB, but there is brass buttons.
It's such an intentional choice.
Yeah, so it's kind of hard because I don't think DBs are inherently Ivy. I'm pretty sure that's been an argument on the Ivy style forum for a while because again,
Well, you know what I think is that they're a bunch of nerds. So who cares what they think?
We are the real Chads.
We're the real Chads here.
Hanging Chads. You guys remember the Bush election? So
Brooks Brothers Riot.
That's right. That's right. Yeah, it's a very intentional choice. It's kind of hard to wear it again Ivy style. Like I don't think I would wear it with chinos, but like I think it's perfectly fine to wear with like gray flannels, spear point collar, foulard tie, knit tie, whatever. It's again not inherently Ivy in that look, but it makes the look become Ivy by extension, you know. But it is also very equally able to be dressed down, and I've been fucking loving it, my guy. Like, it's so good. I've been wearing it, like, I think so just a couple of weeks ago. A couple of weeks ago from press time. But from the recording, I wore it on the day I got Star Wars Squadrons. And, you know, like, I've been inspired by a lot of, like, what Ethan Newton wears, obviously, as you guys know, because you guys listen to the podcast. And he wears a lot of, like, you know, graphic t-shirts, so I was kind of wanted something to wear to celebrate Squadrons coming out, so I wore it with black jeans and a Star Wars t-shirt, and it looked pretty fucking cool because it's kind of like, it kind of feels like you threw it on, you know. In my head it could be like, oh, I inherited this from my dad, so I'm throwing it on with my fucking, like, with my black jeans and t-shirt kind of a thing, you know. I think that lots of, again, like I said, lots of like guys, like my grandpa has a brass button navy blazer, and it just feels super cool when you just throw it on. Again, the soft shoulders really help, and it's great because it just kind of, it's a classy piece all on its own, right? It doesn't, when I put it on with t-shirts, it doesn't feel like I'm trying to dress down the suit. It's more like I'm dressing up my t-shirt, although that sounds bad too because we don't like guys who do that. I don't know, the mentality is kind of weird, but for some reason it just kind of works with this guy. Like, I've worn it with my anthology t-shirt, the knit t-shirt, which is really cool. It looks so good with wide leg easy pants.
I like the look that he did with it with the western shirt and the navy tie. That's a good look.
Yes. Wait.
That's the last photo that you featured. You're photographed wearing it at church.
Oh, I did.
With Raham jeans and black tassel loafers, with a navy blazer. Denim shirt. Yeah, navy tie.
Oh yeah. That's right. Oh, that is probably top tier. Ethan, I've been sitting on that outfit for a long time, waiting for this article to come out because it's so good.
Because you had this written like a month or two ago.
Yeah, and then we had the wide leg one, and then we had other stuff come out since then, button pocket harmony, all that kind of shit. But yeah, that's a great example because it's like, again, Ethan Newton kind of outfits. He wore it with like a Westerner and some like his Bryceland's L30, like whatever L33s, whatever his version of the Levi's 33s are.
Yeah.
But adding in the tie makes it like kind of more me because I'm almost always in a tie. I seldom. I mean, I have gone tieless, but I still like the idea of wearing a tie even if it's a casual outfit, and it just fucking works, man. Like, I felt fucking hot. Like, not, well, literally, because it was a very hot day that day, but it just looks so cool.
Well, it's going back to that, like, you know, what we were talking about in the 70s episode, this like rugged sex appeal that comes with mixing like denim. Like, I'm sounding like a fucking like YouTube guy. It's like, this is how you maximize your sex appeal, but it's like there's something that is like cool about it, like wearing tailoring with like workwear or Western pieces.
Yeah, and it's the idea that we're taking this very trad piece and bringing it to, you know, something that's not really supposed to be there, because I think that most guys would probably wear this look but with a regular navy jacket. You know, whether it's a DB or an SB, or a Game Boy, GBA. But that's what's been really cool about this whole jacket. I mean, and that's kind of the theme of the whole episode. You know, it's like how to increasingly, it could be just a case study on how to make tailoring much more slouchy and accessible and easy to wear. And despite the connotations of this jacket, the navy DB with brass buttons, the navy blazer with brass buttons it's really cool. I'm trying to think of some other. I mean, I wore it with like a minimalistic outfit. I've worn it with like a black polo um, and gray flannels with like black boots. No, black tassel loafers and like a black fedora. Um, there's a lot of different possibilities I could wear with it. I mean, I still enjoy one of my first.
When it gets a little bit colder, are you gonna be layering with it? Because there's a photo that we included here. Can't find it right now, but I mean, it's like really cool to yeah. So it's like there's pictures of guys wearing like the navy double-breasted blazer with like sweatshirts or sweaters and stuff like that. When it gets cold enough to do it, are you gonna be pulling off those looks?
Oh yeah, man. I mean, I think that something that we've explored a little bit in the quarantine one, and the sweatshirt article and everything is that I would love to wear this with sweatpants. I think that'd be fucking dope. Like this with like a turtleneck and sweatpants, white socks, penny loafers, super cool. I don't think I would wear this with sneakers. I have a weird thing. Me in general, I don't really wear sneakers with tailoring that. Like again, by tailoring I mean like a sport coat. I don't really do that very often. You can listen to the whole sneaker piece that came out like a couple months ago. But when you have a pair of loafers, like it's kind of like a penny loafer in that sense too, where a penny loafer is very trad, but we don't feel beholden to its trad roots when we wear them. Like I've worn, and you and I have worn like penny loafers with like t-shirts or chore coats, and so this is
the trad roots is my favorite house band from the Tonight Show. I think they're the best ones.
They should totally do that.
They should do a trad roots, and that's either they start playing like traditional music, and I don't know, like Gregorian chants, I guess.
I was gonna say, what's traditional music for you? Like
yeah.
I was gonna say,
it's old chants, of course. Or they just start wearing like Ivy clothes, or maybe they could do both. And I think Jimmy Fallon would love that.
Yeah, he'd start laughing and like tilting back.
Clap, yeah.
There you go. I hate that because I do that on stream, and I realized that kind of recently, and I'm like, fuck.
You're Jimmy Fallon. You're the man himself.
I can't wait for my cameo appearance in Jurassic World.
I can't wait for your ride at Universal Studios Orlando.
That's a thing?
He has a ride. There's a Jimmy Fallon ride. It's called Race Through New York. It's so weird. Because it's like the other thing is it came out like the first year of his show. And so like all the topical references and jokes that they're referencing are things that he hasn't done in like years.
Oh my god. It launched on 2017. Replacing Twister the Ride. There's Twister the Ride?
I think that was like one of the opening day ones, maybe.
We're going to have to like watch this on stream or something. Oh man. But yeah, I think that the navy jacket is something that people should consider. I mean, what are your thoughts on do you want one, Spencer? Do you think
Yeah, I do. I mean, I do. It's I still want one. It's just that like, I mean, it's like even with the sale, like the ring jacket one was still a little bit more than I want to spend on tailoring right now.
$650, yeah, or $750, something like that.
But it is definitely something that I want eventually. I mean, like I said earlier in the episode, something I've been enamored with is like the casual double-breasted like sport coat. Because as I am getting more and more casual, I'm like, well, rather than like throwing away all my suits, or at least the ones that are like still wearable and not just like crazy vintage shit. I'm like, how can I dress this down, incorporate it into my everyday looks? That's a great way. That's a great way to do that.
Yeah, because I think hopefully people understand is that from this podcast is that suits and sport coats are intimidating because it's something that's so overt and something that has a lot of connotations, especially the navy blazer with brass buttons, but with a little bit of like creative accounting, you're able to kind of take it out of that original context, and then kind of wear it the way you want to. I mean, I've hoped that all the looks I included, and if you're interested in the inspo album, feel free to hit me up. I can send that over to you. It's basically the same thing, but there might be some pictures that I just didn't include. But it's this idea that despite the connotations
all my rage
and the history. Despite all my rage, I'm still just a rat in the cage. I was gonna say man in the cage. That doesn't sound right. But yeah, despite all that, like this is a great, it's a good jacket that actively is able to be dressed down, and I still routinely wear it. Without this connotation, I mean, one of my first outfits with it, I wore it with like a '30s brocade tie, and a beret, and it's a very Ethan look, but it kind of works. It kind of adds to the look. I mean, obviously, if you want something more minimalistic, something a lot more streamlined and versatile, if you want to call it that with quotation marks, then yeah, a plain navy jacket's fine. But if you want something that's versatile in the sense of, that subversive and everything, then try the navy blazer with brass buttons.
Really quick lightning round. Maybe someone's listening to this episode and they say, I already have a navy blazer, or I don't have a navy blazer, but I'm just not at all interested. There are, I mean, it's like you touched on this in the article. There are a couple alternatives that kind of have the same vibes, but you know what? This episode isn't about those, and so I'm just gonna say they're cool, but they're not as cool as the navy blazer with brass buttons.
Okay.
But contrasting buttons in general kind of like help with this look. So if you can source, like, this is something that you saw a lot on like casual 30s jackets that I still love, and I would love to track down like a shit ton of these buttons because I want to put them on everything. But like these like 30s kind of like amber or like caramel color like bakelite buttons.
Oh,
those look really great on like navy jackets. I had one jacket where I did that. I don't think I have it anymore, but
I think my one of my 30s suits, or 40s, my navy blue suit from that era had kind of like brownish, kind of like lighter buttons. And then it's funny, what's funny is that Buzz Tang, again, great. If you haven't seen the anthology, check it out. But on one of his pinstripe suits, he got like caramel buttons on it. And he was like, oh, I might swap them out. And I know that's not a navy blazer, but I told him, I'm like, hey, it's kind of like a 30s cool detail. There were contrasting buttons back in those days, so check that out. But yeah, there's a couple more too that Spencer's about to talk about. I mean, there's the pewter buttons.
Yeah, which I also like because it's like, I like silver jewelry. Like I have silver rings that I don't wear very often, but I have a silver bracelet that I wear every day. So I like silver. I like pewter. And those are a little bit harder to find.
I'll take the wizard.
And it wouldn't be my first choice, but that's something that I would like to get maybe eventually.
I'm not personally a big fan of the pewter buttons because it's a little too 70s to me.
Okay.
Just in terms of the vibe. Because again, you saw pewter buttons not only on navy jackets, but on like a lot of other types of jackets. So I'm like Spencer said, can't really go wrong with the the kind of gold brass buttons, whatever, because that's like the classic. It has been around since forever. Again, it could be 60s, it could be 80s, could be 70s, could be 90s, whatever you wanted it to be. But again, if you were interested in doing something a little bit different, you could do the pewter buttons, which, and especially with all these ones, if you source your own, that's always cooler too.
Oh,
if you're able to find them on
eBay,
eBay, or if you find
I don't
them
see
in
them
a
as
store.
much on eBay, but yeah, like flea markets and stuff, or like random antique stores. You can find some pretty good ones.
Yeah. So yeah, we talked about the contrasting buttons. There's also the mother of pearl buttons, like the white ones, and those ones are pretty cool. You do see those. It's a very Pity Womo kind of thing where you see like a colorful jacket with white buttons with like white pants. So can't say I approve of it, but I'm sure that there are good ones that you could, probably find, or, I'm sure that you guys would wear it better than the Pity Peacocks. Not that there's anything wrong with being a Pity Peacock, but I'm pretty sure you guys may not want that connotation. So those are really cool. Also vintage. I mean, you saw mother of pearl buttons on Palm Beach jackets.
Yes, that's right.
So those are really cool to do. And then of course, like silver, like you could do like a silvery, like a bright horn button. I mean, that's kind of like a contrasting one, but like the silver one kind of combines the ideas of the pewter, but on like regular horn or bakelite buttons or something like that. Those are all cool. And of course, if you're in a position to commission multiple jackets, have some fun with the buttons. Or if you like a project, you could always buy the buttons and swap them out when the vibe calls for it. I won't do that, but that's That's basically what it is, you know. So yeah, I mean, again, navy jacket. It's kind of, I guess, as the more we talk about that, you know, how we tie it into like DIY, punk style because of the fabric and the hardware on it. Kind of feels like you guys could like customize it yourself, you know, with like, and again, leaning further into like the whole skate punk idea, you know, find the buttons, put them on, make it special, because that's what they were at the end of the day. Like, these were for part of a club, part of a society, part of a university, part of a military thing. And hey, maybe we'll make sad buttons someday. I don't know. And we'll add those to my ring jacket blazer.
Sure, yeah, maybe.
I forgot. I think that Bryceland's did that. I think that when you buy a Brooks Brothers jacket, like modern ones, and they have the brass buttons, they all have like the little sheep on it. So that's kind of a cool move there. But yeah, try out the navy jacket, whether it's single-breasted, double-breasted, and, you know, lean into it and subvert it depending on your mood. I think that's kind of the best way, because again, just with wide leg pants, just like with everything else that we've done, I'm pretty sure you're getting kind of tired of wearing the kind of same classic menswear look all the time, you know? And maybe it's time to like to put the little old normal hop sack in the back of the closet and bring out the navy blazer with brass buttons, because that's actually what I've been doing. I have not worn a navy jacket in a long time because I have been wearing my DB blazer way more often. Could be because it's new, but I think it's just been surprisingly extremely versatile. I've been throwing it on with a lot of different stuff, and it's just so much fun. And who doesn't want to have fun?
Girls just want to have fun.
Exactly. Any other thoughts, Spencer?
No, I think we covered this navy blazer thing quite well, I think.
Yeah, and if you guys want to read the whole essay on it, you can read both the Styleform article and the one I wrote. Mine is obviously longer and has way more pictures, but you guys can check that out in the description of the podcast. But I think that'll do it.
That will do it.
Well, thank you guys for listening to the episode and us rambling on and on about the navy blazer with brass buttons. You got to say that all the time.
All the words.
Like SEO. It's an auditory SEO. But
the
I also want to say
it's a little pneumatic device. I don't know what it's helping you remember, but it's helping you remember something.
Yeah. Tell us what it triggers for you. But I also want to give a special thank you to our sponsor of the episode, the putthisonshop.com.
That's right. So as we said at the top of the episode, they are posting new items every Monday, and you can get free shipping on most of those with the offer code SADSHIP. Doesn't apply to oversized items, but everything that we mentioned in this episode, you get free shipping. Once again, there's offer code.
If you got that What if
SADSHIP?
What if you got the Mayan ring and then you looked at it and it said, "You will buy this ring"?
I don't know if that's how the Mayan calendar works, because the Mayan calendar, I don't know either. I don't think is a predictor. I mean, it could be. I think it's just a calendar. Well,
no. Well, I mean, like, what if it was written on it, like in English?
Wait, so you already bought it, and then it says you will buy this ring? Because in that case, that's a pretty shit prediction.
Hey, I don't know. You guys are gonna have to buy it and find out. But the thing is, there's gonna be new items every Monday. Who knows what those ones could be, right?
That's right. It could be a ring that said you're gonna buy this ring, and nobody knows.
What about who do we talk to over there? Do we talk to Jesse to get like a ring that says "Fuck God, Coney 2012"?
He doesn't make the rings.
You don't know that.
Okay, I guess yeah.
We don't know. But anyway, thank you, Put This On, for sponsoring the episode, and also a big thank you to our Sadcast fanatics, the top tier patrons of our Patreon.
You said it
right. I got it right that time. I was so slow because I knew if I said it too fast, I would trip myself up. But again, these guys help make the world go round, at least for us four. And by four, I mean Ethan, Spencer, MJ, and Matt. I was gonna say Mike, but that's because his name is Michael.
Oh,
but
you're doxing him.
Yeah, that's right. So thank you to Seth Peterson, Austin Malott, Eric Hall, Shane Curry, Philip Gagard, and Audrey Jessica. All these people are pretty damn active. Where, Spencer? I'll tell you where.
Of course they're active in the Discord. I told them.
Oh. That's right, you did. It's a great community that you can get into only if you are a patron of our Patreon. Got it right that time too. For just $5 a month, you can get access to it. There's a lot of great stuff in it. They've been playing Among Us on there. Not exactly the way we would do it, but it's a fun time that you guys. Fun. Yeah, it's great. So get on that. That's where we host our live streams. We come in there. We watch movies every once in a while. There's a lot of great stuff happening in the marketplace. I mean, we started this out by posting our own shopping links on eBay on there, but these guys do it themselves
too. It's like self-sustaining. We made a fucking eco
we're
dome.
like proud. We're proud helicopter. No, we're proud boat parents because that's the opposite of a helicopter.
Which we established.
Yeah, exactly. It's the lore. It's canon, baby. It's canon, you know? And hey, if you guys want some more content, not only just by getting a bonus episode from our Patreon, but if you want some regular free stuff, watch us on Twitch.
That's right.
Twitch.
Twice a week.
Yeah, twitch.tv/styleanddirection, all spelled out. You guys can find us there.
It really sucks that we stylize our podcast name with an ampersand, but we're unable to use an ampersand in our email or any social media handles or the Twitch or anything like that.
Yeah, and actually we just got our youtube.com/c.
Oh, we did?
We did, baby.
That's exciting.
And
I didn't even know about that.
I had to change it because it said originally our approved username was /style direction. Why, you might ask? Because an ampersand cannot be used in a URL like that. So I had to officially change our name to Style and Direction, all spelled out on YouTube. But that's where you can find the Twitch streams, the highlights of it if you are not a big streamer. Again, obviously, if you have a Twitch account, we would love it if you guys join in the conversation on Wednesday and Saturday nights, 8 to 10 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. But if not, watch the highlights on YouTube. They're really great. Maybe more content on there in the future. And by future, I mean, who God knows when. But yeah, now we have it, and we have it. So lots of stuff to find, more content from Ethan and Spencer. To see our Instagram, my Instagram is @EthanMLong.
I'm Spencer DSO.
Big thank you to Matt and MJ for producing the podcast, and we'll see you in 2 weeks, baby.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.